Spoiler warning. The contents of this podcast may ruin your television show, movie, comic, cartoon, book, or life. It is your decision to continue to watch or listen to this episode. Here are your hosts, AJ Coppola and Susie Cromwell James.
The name's Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I don't know why, but you are.
What's going on, nerds? Welcome to episode 2 of Spoiler Warning. Welcome to Derry. And I think Susie's going to say it best in about 30 seconds. This was full of absolute nightmare fuel.
I thank God I have a protector puppy, who's not very much of a protector.
He's scared as shit more than you are.
Thank God I have a protector. Dude, he's barking at everything now. It's kind of funny. But thank God I have a protector puppy. This was every single one of my absolute ever-living nightmares that I've ever had as a kid. One of them taken to multiply that nightmare and multiply it by 1,000, and that was the whole thing.
So this is going to be a relatively quick episode because there's a lot that happens, but it's all set up for what I feel like we're going to get in episode 3 is when more of Pennywise,
I was gonna say when I'm sitting through an episode and I'm watching this with AJ, so I'm watching it with my scaredy cat, and sorry, and I'm watching one of the things and I'm like, AJ, don't look up, AJ, don't look up, AJ, don't look up, AJ, don't look up. You know it's bad.
Well, for people that don't know, I usually try to distract myself when it comes to scary things. That way I can go from watching that for a couple seconds to, we'll just use the phone. Still going on. Okay, back to the movie or show. So the thing is, I knew it was going to get bad with this setup. And we're talking about the pickle scene. We'll talk about the second birthing scene in 2 episodes in a second. But just the pickle scene. And for everybody, this is called spoiler warning. We are spoiling it, we're reviewing it, we're talking about it, and yeah. So if the opening didn't give it away, there you go. It's her father. We know what happened to her father. We kind of figured with one thing being about one parent, this was going to be about the other one. And Susie from the start was like, AJ, if you're distracting yourself, don't look at it. And the thing is, I have the attention span of a child. If you tell a child not to do something, what happens? They do it. I looked up and that pickle sausage thingy just went hop. And I went
Mm-hmm. When I tell you that I was repeating, AJ, don't look up, AJ, don't look up, AJ, don't look up, AJ,
I think that was more
up.
for you too.
I don't think my stomach would have held if you hadn't if I had heard you make any kind of noise, because I was so revolted, but I couldn't look away.
And this episode 2 of Welcome to Derry in season 1, The Thing in the Dark. I know we were talking before, or it might have been earlier in the show. We're only 5 minutes in. I'm very claustrophobic, and this episode had a lot of claustrophobia integrated into it. And, we'll stay with the supermarket here. And if you're a kid and your parents just leave an aisle and have had that moment of freaking out, the walls are turning into a maze and trapping her. There's literally nowhere for Lily to go. And you're there with her. And
I can remember being a kid, and I mean I hate it to this day as an adult. Because supermarkets are constantly they're revamping, they're changing their aisles, they're rearranging, and I once in a while I'm like, "Oh my god, I am lost. I have no idea how to get out of here." Like you have that momentary panic. It is like my living nightmare.
mhm.
Um This one, though, isn't just a living nightmare because I probably could have gotten through this whole thing with it being like a maze and closing down on her with the claustrophobia. The minute the pickles, my stomach is still revolting from the pickles.
You don't like
So
pickles?
I love pickles. This has turned me off of pickles for a while. I'm kind of mad about it. And for those who don't know, AJ can attest to this. I had several foods that were pregnancy foods. Pickles was one of them.
Not,
Everybody
not
was
anymore.
constantly saying, "You go into the fridge to get pickles."
Not anymore.
Not anymore. This is gonna take me a while to get into eating pickles again.
Yeah, it's basically if you don't care about watching it and you just want to have fun with us and listen to the podcast and us talk about it. They start breaking around her. They form it basically into a ditto form of her father, just made of pickles, and they try to
No,
eat her.
no, it's more like a squid version. It's not even like Ditto. It's like octopus.
But whatever it is, it was enough to. So we have that. About 10 minutes before that, we do have uh Rona's oh god. I don't know, or Ronnie's birthing incident, I guess, for lack of better terms.
Uh, that
Like first the covers were over her head. Fine. And then she's trying to rip them off and it turns into flesh and then you have the amniotic fluid.
it turned into a C-section from the inside out. You're welcome.
Mm, it was a no. It was a nope. Uh-uh.
That is the second birthing scene
And
in less than a week that we've had to go through. Um,
and then what stinks is Pennywise is taking the form of her mother.
okay, so I did like this little tidbit because we saw the eyes.
Yeah. And she didn't stonewall. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
You remember how in It Chapter 2, uh Bill Hader's character just went
yeah, but it wasn't the eyes; it's the deadlights. We didn't see the deadlights. We
I
saw
thought
the eyes.
oh, I thought those were the deadlights. My bad.
No, those were his eyes.
Oh, well, still. The fact that she was attached still by the umbilical cord, um,
Ah,
getting retracted into the womb that now has teeth.
nope,
Um,
nope, nope, nope,
yeah, big nope.
nope.
Very nightmare fuel for me. I do have to go to sleep after this, and everybody knows if you've watched any part of this channel, I am a scary, very, very much a scaredy cat. This was more creepy than scary to the point where I couldn't watch it.
This for me. It wasn't scary. It was gross. And like I can handle scary. I can handle, suspense.
Mm-hmm.
This was gross. This was just I'm really glad I ate several hours ago. Gross. And I can handle a lot of gross. This was a little extreme for me.
But Pennywise is definitely it is definitely scaring these kids to well, we found out that the reason why he scares children is because when they're at their peak of scaredness, they taste the best.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
So
doing a really good job. I hope he's not around me because but outside of Ronnie and Lily being scared, Lily goes into the insane asylum again after her craziness of in the
and the,
supermarket. But they also have the police chief Clint Bowers kind of tricks her into saying that Ronnie's father could have been there, and they take him in. The chief was already also threatened by people of the town to pin it on him. There's
mm-hmm.
a lot of racism going on in this show. I know it's the
There's
1960s, and it was
so
very.
I feel like the racism is pointed at like specific areas.
Is it just because it wants Ronnie, and it's allowing these adults to feel
I
the the
I think
hatred
I
from
think it
it that
comes
is
down
pushing
to
off?
kind of like we have today in our society, like we have like the kind of like the ghetto or like I'm not going to compare the two, but like we have the ghetto, we have the slums, we have we have the different areas of like levels of poverty, I guess. And I think that's kind of the big difference is because he comes from like this specific area of Derry. I'm not going to call it like straight out racism. There's definitely racism. I'm not going to deny that. But did you notice that the entire community that was there,
It did nothing.
not only did they do nothing, but they were also part of that same race.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, is
I
it just racism or is it just because
I
he lives in that part of Derry?
I think it's still all fueled by it.
Oh no, it's 100% fueled by it. But the feelings have to start somewhere, not just be there is it has to be able to fuel something.
Right, yeah, I guess. I just
It's not just going to create these emotions out of nowhere.
I'm just I don't I know it's it is doing this to
Hmm.
further trigger Ronnie, you know, causing some of this to
Hmm.
happen, and it's just another nail in Ronnie's coffin to go completely batshit insane, just like Lily. Um,
Yeah,
but then let's jump to um, is he a sergeant? I think he's a
he's a
sergeant.
I think he's a sergeant major.
Uh, Jovan Alplow's character, um, Leroy Hanlon.
Yep.
Um, sorry, it's late. I'm still wondering why I'm awake. Um, his family finally shows up. That's awesome. He's got the family. Uh, but we also find out that he's had a brain injury from back in Korea, and it's to the point where he no longer feels fear. And we find out that's why he's there.
So this is what prompted the number of questions that I now have.
They're looking for it.
Well, yes, they're looking for it, but that has nothing to do with my questions. Well,
Oh,
it has
okay.
everything to do with my questions, but like,
Well, then shoot. Let's hear 'em.
so why now? Like, we really didn't see any missing posters. We didn't see any, um, like any posters to the effect of like kids gone missing, kids showing up dead. Nothing to that effect when the show started. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where's it been? Has it been just idle,
27
just
years. I think.
sleeping?
Well, the thing is, He goes on like a feeding spree every 27 years.
No, hold on, because I've got follow-ups to this. Because I'm wondering if because the military is digging up the beacons, if that is why
That
he
car is
actually is able.
27 years from 27 years ago.
Mhm,
And there's going to be 4 seasons of this.
mhm.
No, 3 or 4. So are they going to find all 3 beacons from the next 3 seasons? Or is each season going to find that beacon?
Here is what I am wondering if they're saying they're calling them beacons, but I'm wondering if they're unlocking it.
Like his actual form?
Yeah,
Instead of
I'm
being able to
wondering.
possess like dreams?
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if he wasn't as prominent, or if maybe it didn't, the extent that we see it in the It movies
Mm,
was never the extent that it fed up until all of these so-called beacons were dug up, because now we've unleashed its true power.
that's interesting.
I Food for thought. I don't think I'm right. I don't think that that's what it is at all, but it's definitely something to think about because they're trying to find it. And
Which is freaking wild.
they're trying to find these beacons in the hopes that it would bring them to it, but like it just seems like there's more to it.
Mm-hmm. I I think it's cool how they brought the character of Dick Halloran into this because we know
Yes.
from The Shining that he has the shine, just
Mhm.
like the boy does. And they're using Dick, giving him all this nice leeway and everything to keep
Mhm.
him happy to help them find this power.
So somehow in some way most of the movies, from my understanding, that have the shine
Mm-hmm.
in them are going to connect to it in some way, shape, or form.
I do think it's cool. I like how this is happening because he's one character that if you've gone through media, he's the
Mhm.
only one that has ever seen the real it, and that's when he GT the FFO'd out
Mhm.
of Derry.
Um, so I really like where this is going. Um, I especially like the different clues they're
Mm-hmm.
dropping. The sneak peeks we're getting of it. So I do like that. I feel so bad for the kids though.
They're just getting whacked around with
They're just getting.
everything.
I do like that they are. I think we finally have like kind of our protagonist. It's definitely going to be the Hanlon boy.
I
Um,
I think it'll be Lily. I think it'll be Ronnie. I very much hope it's not little Marge because I know you mentioned mid episode when she's making fun of Lily. I want her to die
yeah, but my reasoning for wanting her to die has nothing to do. Like, I
because
don't want Lily to lose another one of her friends, but like right now she's being a bitch.
she's not being a friend.
She's not being a friend. She's literally not understanding the predicament that Lily is in and not being there for her. I was just assuming that Lily can just pick up where everybody left off and move
Mm-hmm.
on with her life. She watched like 3 people die. And no, that's not how that works. I'm amazed she's holding it together as well as she is. Like, I I don't want to see any of your kids die. I especially don't want to see them die in a gruesome way. But I literally, in the middle of the episode, when she started her shenanigans, I was like, she needs to die. She's being a bully and doesn't realize that she's being a bully. So I did see something interesting about the end credits. I'm not gonna say that they foreshadow the next episode, but they seem to. Um, because this episode played a song about about the boogeyman coming. Which we all know that pretty soon we are going to see it. Um, whether it's going to be in episode 3 or episode 4, we are going to see it. So I thought that was really cool, especially since we got a better glimpse of it and the amount of, not powers, but the amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? But like the
You talking?
control over
You,
the visions. Um, how it can like show these kids like all these visions and nobody else can see them. So I think this gave a better look and a better idea of what it can be capable of. Um, I do like the fact that these two girls keep beating him at almost every turn. Um, so that's kind of interesting. I mean, granted that it's an adult walking in and kind of stunning them out of the vision,
mm-hmm.
but it's still really cool that they're kind of thwarting him in some way. I think he's going to get frustrated. So, yeah, I was listening to the final song and I was like, are we gonna see? Is he coming? Are we gonna see him next episode? And I mean, I used to be scared of the boogeyman.
I
I
still
used to have
am.
to. I used to have to sleep with a nightlight on because I used to be scared of the boogeyman. Um, and my mom found this really cute show called Veggie Tales, and they have a song in there about the boogeyman. And if you've ever grown up with Veggie Tales, and you probably know it's a Christian show. Um, so I used to sing that once in a while, and eventually I won't say that I'm not afraid of the boogeyman, but I think at this point in my life, the boogeyman would have to be more afraid of me um, than anything. I will, however, not take on Spider Mom. I will say that much. I'm not taking on Spider Mom.
No,
I will
no.
take on it for a friend.
Ah,
Nope. It comes after any one of the babies. It's gonna have to go through a mama bear first.
I feel that way too, but depends on what his form is. Because there's a couple things that I know I'm afraid of that will have me just.
It's okay, AJ. Jess and I can take him. It's all good.
Yeah, you and Jess are very much. Um,
We don't care what we're afraid of. You come after our children, you're gonna have to contend with the
oh,
consequences.
I will definitely fight to the death. The issue is, I might freeze.
Yeah,
I might
I tend
freeze.
to I tend to face my fear head on and just charge right through it. But I'm gonna try to get some sleep tonight. Uh, because that sheet thing is what's gonna kill me. Ugh. AJ, I feel like I've done most of the talking.
I'm trying to figure stuff out still. That's why you see me typing or hear me typing, because I'm
Oh,
trying to put into words on how this episode actually it messed with me. The two parts that we mentioned earlier are going to be parts that when we look at a retro of this whole season are going to be two
mhm.
moments where we add to the list. That no. Um but I know you mentioned how you went back and listened to the first episode, the ending, the
Mhm.
song. Did you talk about how it might be foreshadowing into the next episode?
I until I get a chance to like fully read the lyrics, I don't want to jump to that conclusion, but that's what it seems like. It seems like it's a little bit of a foreshadow.
The boogeyman is coming.
The boogeyman is coming. So, and I think it's interesting that not only they're using different songs for each of the end credits, because yes, I went back to make sure that they were using different songs. Um, but I think it's also interesting and very, very appropriate that they're using time pieces. So these are pieces that came out during that era. Um, and I think that's really cool that they were able to find music to fit what they needed in that time period.
Mm.
So, I think if I were to sum up this episode for me in 5 words, it would be not watching in the dark.
I,
Or not watching with a blanket.
I was literally just sitting at my desk and had my phone in my hands, and I'm just. But I think that's what this show is good at.
Mhm.
It's not full horror, but it's really messing with your brain and how it tells the story.
I'm going to say something that's probably controversial, but I wish that they had done It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2 like the series. Not because I think that they would be able to cram more in, because I've never read the books, so I don't know like how much more there was, but I feel like they would have had better pacing, if that makes any sense.
See, I didn't mind the movies with their pacing.
No, I didn't either, because I rewatch them every year, all the time. Um, but like in watching how they're doing this series, I don't know. I feel like they could have done the It movies as a series, and it still would have been phenomenal. And now I have Genie playing in my head, so there you go. What was the song that got stuck in your head earlier, AJ?
I don't remember. It was
It was a
before the
TikTok song.
episode.
It was before the episode, and it was
And
very fitting for this episode. It was very fitting for this episode. Now I can't think of it. I will think of it, and it'll be in the worst possible moment ever.
yeah, probably like 2 a.m. You're really good with those past midnight text messages. But
Uh, dude, if you were awake Friday night, you probably would have gotten messages because I was up until about 2 a.m.
with the baby,
Yep.
with the toddler.
Yeah. My toddler's 23 months today.
Oh God, she's so old.
Yeah, if you ever want to think of something scary besides it's the fact that my toddler is 23 months today.
Hey, you know what we get to do next month, right?
Christmas? Celebrate a very special human's birthday? I know. We get to do the Johto. Johto. Look, we all know she's going to pick Cyndaquil.
She. Well, that's the thing. I'm giving her that one if it does, because I feel like it would mean more if it came from me, and it's not like I don't have 2 other giant ones.
Well, she's tried to steal your Cyndaquil at
You did.
con. I'm pretty confident she's picking Cyndaquil.
I hope so. Well, we'll print out the papers. We'll do it again, and if she does pick the Cindy, I'll just heave ho it across the room.
Okay, this sounds like a plan. But unless you have anything to add, AJ, I think I've kind of talked out this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will probably have more to add after next week's episode, but right now I'm still digesting this week's episode. And I think I've kind of talked out all the major talking points. So,
but thank you, everybody. Hit that like button, subscribe. What are your thoughts on this week's episode?
Please give us a gross factor of each one of the it scenes.
Please.
Between 1 and 5. 1 being not gross, 5 being absolutely disgusting.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.